the into the webinar.
Right there. Oh, no.
Go back. Yeah. So down here, remember it was like down here hidden.
What?
Why is it?
What are you talking about? We're
I'm looking
good?
to see where does it say the parents are here? No, that's the.
Very good, very good.
Good.
We are recording.
Okay. We ready to go? Okay. Good morning. Thank everybody for joining the Norwood School Town Hall meeting this morning. Thank you for taking the time to join us. Although it is not the ideal way we planned on starting the school year, we are all committed to providing the best possible learning experiences for our students and families. It is our hope to be back in person for hybrid learning in early October. I would like to introduce the panelists, starting with Mrs. Bernadette Riley, our school superintendent, who would like to say a few words.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Mills. I appreciate you giving me a few minutes this morning. Normally, I do stay on and participate in these meetings, but I do have another town hall for Tinicum that I need to join for a few minutes, and then I do have a previous engagement that I need to attend. I want to thank this team who has worked very hard in preparation for the opening of the school year, and I want to thank you, the parents, for your patience and support as we have been preparing for school to open this year. As Mr. Mills said, this is not the way we anticipated the start of the school year. But unfortunately, due to the COVID pandemic right now, we've had to pivot from starting school in person to now starting virtually. For the past couple of weeks and months, the teachers, the administrators, we have been working behind the scenes, hours upon hours, to prepare for either opening and either way to educate our children this year. So hopefully you will find this meeting very informative. There's a lot of information that'll be presented to you. There will be opportunities for questions and answers. And hopefully you've gotten your materials and we'll be ready to start virtual learning. I am monitoring the COVID cases in Delaware County with the support of the Chester County Health Department. And as soon as we are able to bring students back into the classroom, we will do so. We recognize that this is not the way to best educate kids. Nothing is better than in-person instruction with students in front of teachers and being with their peers. But we need to make sure that we're keeping students and staff safe and healthy during this time. So again, I want to thank you all for joining today. I hope you find these informative, and I look forward to seeing and speaking with you at some point over the course of this year. So thank you, Mr. Mills. I'm going to jump off here, and if I do have some time in the meeting still taking place, I will jump back on, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Mrs.
Thank you
Riley.
all. I appreciate your time. Goodbye, everyone.
Okay. Parents, I would like to remind everybody that please post any questions into the Q&A section that you may have. We will be answering them at the end of the presentation. So please, again, post any questions, not in the chat, but in the Q&A, and we will get to them at the end. Thank you very much. Okay, introductions. I am Mr. Dan Mills, the proud principal of Norwood School. My new assistant principal, I'd like to introduce Dr. Tracy Costa.
Hello, everyone.
I'd like to introduce my STEM computer science teacher, Dr. Chris Goldberg. And as you can see, Mrs. Riley was part of the panelists to start with. Okay, we're going to jump right in here and take a look at a sample student schedule, K-6 student schedule. I would like to start by letting you know that there has been a lot of questions surrounding student schedules and the times and everything. There will be a very important SMORE email today put out with individual student schedules by grade level. You know you can find your student's homeroom teacher. You'll be able to click on the grade appropriate schedule, which has the times and the classes, and that information will be coming out today. So questions about schedules, and we'll be happy to answer some more this evening. But to go over the basic sample schedule, students will start their day in homeroom/morning meeting with a teacher. Each student that signed up for in-person or hybrid or iSync plans start the day with a homeroom and virtually face-to-face via Zoom, okay? As we go through, you can see the different blocks, the ELA block, the power block. Now, what is the power block? There's been some questions. The power block is going to be time for students to asynchronously work on different things provided by their teachers, and you can see some listed on the right. There might be if they have gifted or core up services, if they receive OT or speech, progress monitoring for special education, Title I, ELL instruction, special education services, counseling or social services, small group instruction, keyboarding, or classroom extension with the choice boards. That's all going to take place asynchronously during the power block, or when we are back here in school, students will be pulled during these times to receive your other services. As you can see, 10:30 to 11:25, there will be a writing social studies block. In the area of K to 2 in this regard, that block will consist of Orton Gillingham instruction provided by the teachers during this block. There's a lunch, 11:30 to 12:15. 12:15, the special area. Now I'd like to touch on the special area. The specials, each student will receive 4 different specials throughout the year based on the marking periods. Even though we were running a trimester, we found it best to schedule the specialists. They'll be receiving 4 different specials throughout the year, and they could range from STEM with Dr. Goldberg, music, physical education, library, nutrition, depending on the grade level, art. So these are some of the different special students will be receiving throughout the year. You can see a math block there, and then teachers' office hours where they can be contacted by parents or students. I just want to talk a little specials for the in-person hybrid students are synchronous live via Zoom. Students that have picked or parents that have picked the iSync or iCyber, your specials will be asynchronous or will not be live, but teachers will provide special area classes for those students. Classes for synchronous learners will consist of a combination of whole group, small group, and independent learning activities. So throughout the day, teachers will be challenging students and engaging them throughout a multitude of ways. Our middle school schedule. Okay, so the schedule I just went over would be for K to 6, even though our 6th grade this year, we're all following the departmentalized schedule where teachers are teaching their independent areas of ELA, math, reading instruction. 7th and 8th grade is a little bit different of a schedule where students receive an A day and a B day. And we can see on the left-hand side here, the hybrid schedule or the people that signed up for in-person learning. On the A days, you notice that the classes are 90 minutes in length for their core classes of ELA, math, lunch, well, it's a half an hour. Then you have 90 minutes of science, a special, an hour special area class, and student dismissal. This schedule is based on the returning to school model, but however, as we talk here, I'll show you in the next, on the right, how it will look in the virtual day. So what you're seeing on the left is an actual student A or B day. Now students on their A days will have the 90-minute core classes, and in 7th grade, those students on the A days would attend on Monday, Wednesday, and every other Friday when we get back to coming in school. On the B days, you notice that there are 45-minute periods on their B days, synchronous learning and asynchronous learning on their B days. And those students, B days would be Tuesday, Thursday, and every other Friday. I just want to say that we are starting on September 17th. It will be a B day. And again, the schedules you'll see today are coming home. We'll have a lot of information and let parents know how students are going to log on for their first day. And Dr. Goldberg will also be talking about that as we go through the presentation. I want to mention here that in 7th grade, the students are going to have science and social studies based on each marking period. So in 7th grade, students will have social studies the 1st and 3rd marking period, and science would be second and fourth marking period. In 8th grade, students would receive science in the first and third marking period and social studies in the second and fourth marking period. Attendance. Teachers will take attendance for each class period that they see students. It will be measured by participation in Zoom, Schoology, analytics, and completed work, exit ticket submission. I just want to say that for the in-person or hybrid students, our attendance will be very flexible in the beginning with the understanding that they signed up to come back into school. And we know now with students working with other people, with parents working, there will be a flexibility. All we ask is that students keep up with the work completion if they're unable to attend the Zoom live classes and are doing work at other times, either in the evening or on weekends with parents. When available, we'll be very flexible with the attendance. The iSync students need to attend all their virtual Zoom sessions, and then the iCyber plan students will be working at their own pace. Breakfast and lunch distribution. The USDA has extended the summer program waiver through December 31st, 2020, meaning that all students aged 18 and under are eligible for free meals. This is an awesome program, and beginning this Thursday, September the 17th, from 2:30 to 5:30, there will be meals, breakfast and lunch provided. Monday pickup includes meals for Monday through Wednesday, and then on Thursday, which is the first day, the 17th, you will receive meals through Friday. Meals will be pre-boxed and distributed in a grab-and-go type manner. They will be distributed up on Seneca in the bus cutout lane near the cafeteria. You must sign up to receive these meals. And I think I have another slide here that'll show you. These are just the cost of the different lunches when we do get back into school. After December 31st, breakfast will be $1.50 and lunch is $2.70. Families must sign up each week using the link. Even when we're back in school, parents will have to sign up. Students would be eating when we first come back in their classrooms. The link will be open from Monday through Wednesday each week. The meals will be available for pickup. These are the virtual meals on Mondays and Thursdays during virtual learning. And then the menus will be available on the district Norwood website with the weekly meals. And if you think you qualify for free or reduced lunch, please sign up and apply for that information. But again, the grab-and-go meals are available to everybody for free. There will be a s'more coming out that'll look like this, possibly today also, grab-and-go breakfast and lunch. And this is where you would click on and sign up for the meals. And you can see there, it starts on Thursday, September 17th. So this should come out today as well. Please sign up and come pick up the meals from 2:30 to 5:30 on Thursday. Immunizations, as you can see here, children in all grades need the following vaccines. I'm not going to read all those to you. 7th grade needs additional immunizations requirements. Please have your students up to date and provide this information to our school nurse, either Mrs. Veronica Uhouse or Mrs. Joanne Cox, no later than November 17th for the 7th grade, additional ones. And you can see that there's other doses at the bottom that students need to have. We don't want to exclude anybody based on immunizations from coming to school. So please take care of that for us. Again, as you're watching this, please put your questions in the Q&A, not the chat box, the question and answer. Put your questions in there, and at the end, after we're done, we will go through and answer every and all of your questions. And if you can think of any other questions when we're not on here, please email Mrs. Costa or myself. Just email us and we'll get back to you ASAP, or Dr. Goldberg. We have a multitude of resources here. With all the staff that we have here and anything, we'll get you the answer to your question. Contacting staff. If you need to contact your child's teacher, please email them. They will get back to you again, or you can email Mrs. Costa and myself. Staff emails can be found by searching the school your child attends, okay? Clicking on the Interboro website, going to Norwood School, or if you know the teacher's name, all staff emails are formatted as the first name dot last at interboro.sd.org. For example, mine would be daniel.mills@interboro.sd.org, and Mrs. Costa's would be tracy.costa@interboro.sd.org. So if you need to contact us, guys, please reach out. Let us know. We're working to answer any and all questions that we have during this COVID pandemic. Technology assistance. If you're having an issue with technology, please email the following: techhelp@interboro.sd.org, and they will get you the help that you need. I just want to remind parents, we had pickup yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Please make sure you sign up on the emails that we've been sending out for the tech survey, and you click off on that. We've had people come and have to fill out papers by hand. It'd be a lot easier if you clicked on that survey or that tech document and filled it out before you come to pick up all your devices. Okay, like I said, material and device distributions kicked off yesterday. You'll see the times here in a minute. Any family who's not completed the re-registration process will not receive a device or materials or till the process is complete. So if you were contacted by the registration office and have not done so, we are unable to give you materials to start the school year. All families must complete the technology equipment agreement. That's what I was referring to. Prior to getting a device, please go on and electronically do that before you pick up your equipment. All students must accompany by a parent for every student that will be receiving a device. Also, some people have opted out. They have their own devices. That's fine too. Just let us know. Please remain in your car. We have a line that forms that goes into the large parking lot. We have folks outside, and we have a multitude of people inside getting all the materials ready. Let the person know your child's name and grade level as you come through the large parking lot on School Lane. Students will be receiving a banker box with all of their materials to take home. These boxes must be returned when students come back to school for in-person learning. Please maintain these boxes and bring them back to school when we reopen with the materials inside. These materials will be necessary for in-person learning. I just want to say, we will not be, even when we come back, we will not be using lockers or cubbies. These boxes will be placed next to the student's desk where they can have their materials and keep their materials. So it's very important that what comes in these boxes comes back to school when we do return in October. Very important. In the banker boxes, I might mention also, there's different materials teachers have put in, and I just want to let parents know we did purchase agenda books for all our students for grades 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, and 8. They are also in your banker boxes to help the kids stay organized with their schedule. Again, materials and device distribution listed here. We did Monday, middle school yesterday. Today we're doing grades 3, 4, and 5, and tomorrow will be, should say, grades K, 1 and 2. The times are 11 to 1. Yesterday was 1:30, 2 to 3:30, and 4 to 6:30. So please pull through, and pick up the students' materials. All right, I just want to touch a little bit about Zoom etiquette as we start the year virtually. If you could help us out here as parents at home or whoever's going to be working with your child. Background noises make it more difficult to meet online. Students should be on mute and wait for recognition by the teacher before they unmute themselves and speak to the group. Only one participant should speak at a time. Comment in the chat if you want to share, wait to be recognized. Students should be respectful to all members in the online classroom. Remember that this is a learning tool in a school setting. Students should act appropriately as if they're in the classroom and avoid behavior that will cause a disruption to the lesson. School administrators will be contacting parents of students exhibiting inappropriate behavior online. Hopefully it does not come to that, but I wanted to make you aware. Students or parents are not permitted to record, take pictures, screenshots, or any part of video conferencing lessons, and none of this should be posted on social media. Again, this presentation will be recorded and provided on our website for future reference if you'd like to return to it or follow up with it. In the Zoom etiquette setting area, please provide a quiet environment for students to focus, turn off the TV and other distractions. Younger or older siblings should not be interrupting during this time. This is also not a time for parents to conference with the teacher. We understand that parents may have to help younger kids manage whichever device is being used. Beyond this, however, the teacher must be allowed to interact with the students as he or she would in a regular classroom. There still can be fun, of course, but this time should be guided by the teacher's guidelines and tasks. Students should not be using their cell phones or phones unless it is part of the participation in the lesson. Students should not be laying down. This is a class setting, and students should be also dressed appropriately for school. At this time, I'm going to turn the presentation over to Dr. Goldberg, and he's going to talk to you about some Schoology and some technology as we move forward with this virtual learning. Thank you, Dr. G.
Thank you, Mr. Mills. It's great. Thank you all for being here. This is just a sample because I'm actually teaching kindergarten in my first marking period of what some of the teachers are using and the expectations. And we're going to be really focusing on real positive behaviors during Zoom, and then that should carry over into the classroom, and we're all going to be very patient with each other. Now, getting into the first class Thursday, most of your teachers, if not all of them, especially the teachers of the younger students, are going to put the Zoom link right there in front. I'm actually going to be with Miss Cesarine's class, kindergarten, at 8:30, but I'm going to go in with the homeroom. So I've already created my link, and I have it up. I will have it up on my course so that if students or parents go into our Schoology course, the link will be there. We're also going to be emailing out the links to the very first day because, you know, this is going to be a new thing for all of us. So there'll be a couple places where you should be able to see through email and also in the Schoology course to get to the link to get to the very first Zoom. And then I think things will get a little bit easier. But we will have, if not in this banner here that all teachers have, we will have it in we should also have it in our week at a glance. So you'll be able to find the Zoom link pretty easily. And I also include here the meeting ID number because some will be actually accessing through a tablet, especially K-2 because we're all getting a tablet. And one of the ways into Zoom is through the meeting ID number. I've also created a video to explain how to use the tablets, and we will be sending that video out through email and also have it on our Schoology pages. And I'm going to have a printed instructions as well. Hopefully that gets in the box. All right, next slide, please. Okay, Schoology itself, the reason why we're using it, and it's a new thing for Interboro School District, but it's not new. It's the probably most popular, they call learning management system, because it gives the teachers and the students so many more ways to teach and to learn that really work well with everything we do. And I think we're all very excited about the ways we can use it. And we can use it in person, we can use it virtually, we can use it in the cyber world. It's just a great, great way. So we're gonna kind of just give you an example of what it looks like so you have an idea when you go to see it, a little more familiarity. All right, next slide, please. Mr. Mills, next slide, please, if you may.
Sorry.
That's okay. All right, if you're using a Chromebook or most laptops, there's going to be this sign in, if you see in the red circle, once you log in to once you log into the Chromebook, you're still going to just click on the sign in Google accounts. And when you do that, your Google will come right up and it'll be pretty easy for students to sign in to Schoology at that point because the Google will already be there. And because we're using the Google sign in for Schoology, they kind of work together. You can also sign into Google, signing into Google is firstname.lastname@interboro.sd.com for almost all students. If you have a very long name, a student with or a hyphenated name, we may have shortened it. And if there's any question on that, you'll probably need to email your teacher or myself. But most of the students that have been here before know them pretty well. In the older grades, in the younger grades, I think we're probably going to need to send a list out on that, but it's going to be first name dot last name at interboro.sd.com for most of them. So I'm going to stress that if anyone has a question on that, to first email their teacher and then they can email me. Next slide, please.
Yeah, Dr. G, before you do that, I just want to let parents know the password, their ISD lunch number is also their student identification number. It's the
Yes.
same 4-digit number for their ISD, and then
number.
that 4 digits, 5 digits. Okay. I just wanted to remind parents.
Right, which now if you're using the tablet, this is brand new. They recently came in. Like I mentioned, this is for the K-2 brick and mortar students. The cyber students will get a Chromebook. So we, on the district website, they do have directions for all devices for logging in. I'm also going to get out to you. If you need them, you can email me, because I will have them as well. And I'm going to, for the K-2 brick and mortar, because this is a little new, get them in the boxes as well, the banker boxes. So you'll have them with your computer. And they're going to get, all K-2 brick and mortar students will get this quick card, which allows them to sign in very quickly and not have to put in all their credentials using really the class link. You also can access Zoom through the Zoom app that's been provided on the tablets. That'll be in the directions as well. I can't go through all that now. And then when you sign into Google the very first time, that's where we would put in that email, first name, that last name at interboro.sd.com. And then the ISD lunch number would be the second screen. I think once that's done once, it'll save and you won't have to do it again, but that will have to be done one time. So for the very younger students, we might need an adult to help them with that. So I will have a video explaining this. I don't want to go through it all now. I know it's a lot, but I just want you to be familiar with it.
Thanks, Dr. G.
All right, the next slide. This is an example. This is using the Tinicum, but that's what it's going to look like. As you can see, we used on this one a test student. We didn't want to show a student's name. So it's kind of first name dot last name and Interboro. For our test student and for teachers is .org, but for all students it will be .com. Okay, next slide, please. And after you log into Schoology, we're going to just go over a quick overview of what it looks like. I know that the high school students, a lot of them have already been and checked out their Schoology accounts. On the left side, you're going to see the recent activity, which are the most recent assignments or messages that your teachers have provided to you, and you're going to get to see them all as they come in, kind of like a feed, like a social media feed. And on the right side, you see, well, it says overdue. Hopefully we don't have overdue assignments, but all the assignments that are due or overdue will always show up on the right side. That's the really key thing, is that there's no confusion as to what's due, because it will always be showing. All right, next slide, please. The students will be able to go in and see how they're doing in their courses. This is just to check how they're doing in their Schoology assignments. Also, as at that very top bar, we call it the black ribbon, where you see courses, groups, resources, the grades. And as you go further over, there's a little email icon. So there also is going to be messages, and there's a calendar as well that they can use to really stay focused on what's coming. So once a teacher puts up an assignment, it will show up in the student calendar. And also as parents log in as well, I think that will show in the parents calendar as well. But on the very far right, next to where it says Tinicum Test, students will be able to make their own profile, and they're going to be doing that in the first couple of days with their ELA teacher. So that'll be kind of nice. They can personalize it. Okay, the next slide. Yeah, I had mentioned this. You can see it in the recent activity, and you'll also be able to see it when you enter into your courses. They call them courses. They're really classes, but we call them courses in Schoology. But anything that's due, that's upcoming, and anything that's overdue will be right there in front of them. So it'll be really easy to keep account on what's coming up. and as far as assignments, completing assignments. I kind of did go over all this. Again, there's a search area there that that magnifying glass where if students need to find something, they can do it. The 4 little boxes next to that is a quick link to Nearpod, which is going to be a really neat application that pretty much all students will be using this year and teachers will be assigning, and it gets you right into it. And it's a really neat way to do presentations for teachers and for students to respond. I mentioned the calendar and the messaging, and over like where I said in the Tinicum test, there's your personal profile that they will be able to work on, and they will get to do that pretty early on. All right, we continue. I mentioned that. So we're kind of profile. If they want to do it now, it's not too difficult. They click on Edit Picture in the upper left. All they'll do is they'll hover their mouse and they'll see that they click on that, and they can choose a picture as their avatar. You know, a lot of students know how to do it already in school with their Google. It's appropriate and it displays proper citizenship, that would be okay. Just be careful that it's appropriate for other students as well. Accessing their actual courses, where it does say courses. Now, right now, you're seeing a test student that has a lot of courses because teachers are testing them out. Your children will have between 4 and 7 or 8 different that will show, because they're going to have their ELA and their math, science, social studies, and their math, and then this marking period special, and they may see the next couple special. So there'll be 7 or 8 of them, and all they have to do is click, and you can see the teachers have made really cool banners or really cool actually avatars for their courses, so it's pretty easy them once they get in, and that's all being finished up. So it'll be really easy to find their courses or find their classes, but they will click into each one of them individually. They're not all in one place, but all the courses show up. Once they're in the course, and this is an example, this isn't actually my STEM class. It's one from, I think, Glenn Olden's actually. But they're going to see a banner that's going to say, you know, welcome. And it's going to have 4 of these buttons that you can always get to the teachers' resources, which might be papers or anything, information that the students will always need. The course overview, which will explain the key points of the course or the class. The week at a glance, which is going to be really, really helpful because there's going to be links. It's going to explain everything that's going on during that week. And the tech support link, which is going to have videos and files to help with different things that students will be needing to do. So if they don't have the opportunity to learn right there, or they learn it in their Zoom, but I forget how to upload a picture, things like that are going to be there. And if they can't find it, they may need to ask their teachers, is there an instruction sheet on this or on that? And we'll make sure we get them out. And on the very left side, there are some options that they will use, especially they can check grades, attendance. This won't be I'm not sure how the students are going to, I think they're going to see that they've been marked in for attendance, but we haven't done that yet because we haven't been there yet, but there'll be some updates there. Materials, which will help them get to all their activities that they're going to be doing. And then one of them is that Nearpod that I mentioned, which will be an access road basically to this really great program that we'll be using. So we'll be using that left side. Now, when they actually enter into their course, all the teachers have pretty much been instructed to separate them by units. Like if I was teaching my STEM course to some of the older students, I might have the first unit might be computer basics, and then coding and robotics and digital citizenship. So it'll be easy for students to find the different units, and we'll start out with unit 1. Some of the other unit information assignments may not be available for the students to start yet. They may kind of be locked, but they will be very organized and students will be able to find them. And again, if you look on the right side where you see upcoming, you're going to see that there's a couple assignments that are due right, September 25th, a lesson, and it'll be really easy for students to know what they have to do. So we move on. It's easy to ask the teacher questions through Schoology. They're going to click on that little envelope and a new message screen will come up, and they can write in their teacher's name. It'll just start to come up to the email right away, and the subject and then the message. So it'll be really easy to send messages to their teachers, and teachers and students will probably be communicating back and forth, I think, a lot as we move on. So that'll be very easy to do. So I think that's where we are for now and getting ready. Once we get into our first Zoom sessions on Thursday, things will become a lot more clear, but you're more than welcome. Ooh, I misspelled thanks for your attention. There's a Y instead of an H, but you do see that little avatar. Hopefully it makes me look a little better than I really look, or a little younger. Most of the teachers are using these Bitmojis, they call them. And I think it's kind of become very popular now. That's my little Bitmoji, and it's just a neat way to personalize things. And, all we want to do is keep things really positive and continue to learn. And then once we get back in the classroom, I think things will really be great. And it's everyone's going to be incredibly patient. That's how we're going to be. I'm going to teach kindergarten, and we're just going to be patient and learn and smile, and then we're going to learn a lot that is skills, since I'm a technology teacher, that will carry over into all our learning. So I see just positives. That's all I see.
Dr. G, I just want to piggyback on that and all the hard work that we've been putting in. Everybody, the teachers, the administrators, we're all learning. We're all going to be very flexible. And during this whole time, I've been telling myself it's one day at a time. So don't put pressure on it. If there's questions that arise, we're here to help and support. Our teachers are here to help and support. The secretaries, everybody's here going to just work together to solve any issues that you may come up with, and just be patient and go with the flow. So at this time, I think we're going to take some questions, and Mr. Costa is going to read some of the questions, and we're going to try to answer them for you from the Q&A. Mr. Costa?
Okay, will there be break times in the schedule?
There will be break times for students to get up between classes. There's times, and I just want to mention, it came up in another town hall. They asked about bathroom. If the student needs to, maybe private message the teacher, or turn their video off, and that's not mandatory either, right, Dr. J? So kids aren't mandatory to have their video on. So it's either or, but if they had to use the restroom or take a break, there is time between classes. Or if they had to use the restroom when they were in Zoom, they can pause it, send the teacher a private message, turn their video off, do what they have to do. And also, when we do come back, and I keep saying this in October, I hope we're back here, there'll be built-in breaks here at school, bathroom breaks, mask breaks, outside breaks. So there will be breaks built in the different models.
Okay, thank you. This says, Dr. Fauci recommends windows be open during in-school learning. Will that be the case during the cold weather season?
Well, I do know that Mr. Galloway, our facilities director, has increased airflow drastically, and the settings set for our outside fresh air handlers are definitely set to, I think, like 100%. So fresh air will be brought in, and I think teachers have the ability to open their windows during the, that fresh air. And I have mine open right now. It's such a nice day out today here in my office. So I don't think that would be a problem.
Okay, thank you. Do students need to wear school uniform colors?
For virtual learning or at home learning? But during virtually, we just want them to be dressed appropriately for school. When we do come back, it's just the appropriate colors, whether it be gray or white or gold or black. The dress code has really been relaxed over the last couple of years, just as long as it's school appropriate with no inappropriate logos on the particular. We're very flexible with the school uniform, but I would ask parents, please have students dressed and ready to go during the virtual learning. I think it puts students in a myself when I get dressed for work. It puts me in the mindset of, what I have to do when I go to school. And I think kids also need to be ready to go and dressed and not in pajamas and all that kind of stuff at home. So parents, please help us out with that while we're in the virtual model.
Thank you. How do we locate the student lunch number? This is our first year.
Student lunch number, the easiest way for right now, do me a favor and email my secretary here in the office, Julia, Julia .Lennon, LENNON, at InterBoroSD.org, and she will be happy to help you with your lunch numbers or any login hack information. She is the secretary here at school that would help you with any of that information. So please just email her and we will get you that information ASAP.
Okay, thank you. Will the daily sessions be recorded?
Dr. J, you want to take this one?
Yes, they will be recorded because they're being used for, well, depending if it's a specialist or whatnot, but they will be recorded. So maybe just if everyone acts appropriately, and I know they will, I don't think we'll have a problem with that. So I just want students to be aware. Teachers can turn off the recording at times, though, and that might happen too. But just everyone needs to act appropriately, and I don't think we'll have a problem.
Thanks, Dr. J.
How do we know if we are hybrid or all cyber?
Well, the three different plans that the district rolled out for in-person or hybrid learning, meaning the students who return would be here now if we were back and hopefully return in October, or they picked iSync, which is the synchronous learning model where there is Zoom live instruction with the teachers, or the iCyber model, which is basically an asynchronous plan where students have the flexibility to work at their own pace without the live teacher interactions, and they could be doing the work at whatever time is convenient for them or working with parents that are working. So the different plans, and again, if there are any questions, which one you would choose, that you can email myself or Mrs. Costa, and we can let you know which one that you signed up for if you forget which one that you signed up for. Also, the email I referred to you're going to get today will have information in there about student schedules, first day, and all that good information you'll be receiving with the times for the classes and everything. Today will be a schmore coming out, very informative.
Okay, thank you. Who do we contact if we are missing something from our banker box?
Just contact the main office and we will rectify that. There was an issue yesterday with the cords for the Chromebooks. Each Chromebook has different cord to it, and a couple of them had the wrong cord. So anything that you need, we're here from 7:30 till 6:30 today, tomorrow. You can just drive up and one of the ladies or somebody in the lobby will help you with anything that you can have to get ready for Thursday.
Thank you. And lastly, will there be?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Costa.
Will there?
You're cutting out on us.
Okay. Will there?
I can't hear the last part.
That's it. Okay. Will there be
homework?
Yes.
Well, during the virtual time, it is my understanding that there will be assignments and there will be classwork and some asynchronous assignments that students will be doing on their own. However, it was my understanding when we do come back to the in-person students that are in the building, there will be very little to no homework expected once we're back in the building.
Okay. As time goes on, are you able to switch your learning choice?
So there might be some flexibility, but basically what you've signed up for will be the plan that you're going to follow through based on the district and the resources and the teachers and everything else. There will be some time that will be put out where people might be able to pick a different plan, but for the most part, people that have picked the plan will be on that plan for the duration of the year.
Okay, and there is no more open questions.
All right, folks, I'd like to take this time to thank everybody for joining us this morning. Look forward to a great year here at Norwood School. Again, please reach out to us with any questions or concerns. Communicate with us if you have an issue. We will rectify it as soon as possible. And I look forward to a great school year and getting back in here as early as we possibly can to in-person learning. I cannot wait to see the kids and the teachers. That's why we all got into this. And I agree with Mrs. Riley. The best possible learning experience is where students are in school, socializing with their peers for social emotional learning, and also sitting in front of our teachers here, who, let me just say, brag a little bit about, are the best in the district. So I'm very lucky to be the principal of this school and have an amazing staff here that works well together. And I look forward to working with Mrs. Costa, my new assistant principal, and all my other staff to provide the best possible experiences for our students here at Norwood School. So I'd like to say thank you at this time, and I'm going to stop sharing. And Dr. Goldberg, if you would, make sure the recording's taken care of, and I think we are done. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you.
We're good, right, guys?
Went well.
Okay, so I can hit end.
Yes.
Yep. I guess the recording goes to March because
I'll show you. She told me, we can talk about it. She told me where it'll go. It'll automatically save to your document somewhere.
does it go to mine or does it go to yours or does it go to hers?
I'm not sure. Reach out to Marge. Reach out to Marge, and we have to find out because we have to upload it to the webpage. We'll find out. I'm going to end the meeting for now.
Okay.